Number 25. If A, B, C and D are in GP, prove that A square plus B square plus C square multiplied with B square plus C square plus D square is equal to AB plus BC plus CD whole square. So solution of 25. Since ABCD are in GP, so let R be the common ratio. Since A, B, C, D are in GP, so therefore let R equal to common ratio. R equal to common ratio. Therefore we can say that B is equal to AR, C will be equal to AR square and D will be equal to AR cube. D is equal to AR cube. Why it is AR cube? Because it is the fourth term. It will be the fourth term. So this is the first term, second term, third term, fourth term. Now we will just simplify the left hand side. So therefore we can say that A square plus B square plus C square multiplied with B square plus C square plus D square is equal to A square as it is plus B is equal to AR. So just putting the value of AR here, we are getting AR whole square plus C is AR square. So AR square square, then multiplied by putting the value of again B square. So value of B is AR, so AR whole square plus C is AR square. So AR square whole square, and what is D? D is AR cube. So AR cube whole square, and now we'll multiply this one equal to what this will give us is that we can see that in the first bracket everywhere A square term is there, so we can take it out common. So A square remaining will be 1 plus R square plus R raised to 4 multiplied by second one. If we take, we will be getting A square, and in second bracket what is remaining is R square plus R raised to 4 plus R raised to 6, and this we can further simplify as equal to A raised to 4 and 1 plus R square plus R raised to 4 multiplied by, in the second bracket we can take out R square common, so this will become R square 1 plus R square plus R raised to 4. So this will give us equal to A raised to 4 into R square into 1 plus R square plus R raised to 4 whole square, and let this be say 1. Now let us solve AB plus BC plus CD whole square. AB plus BC plus CD whole square, and this will give us equal to value of A is as it is, value of B is AR, so A into AR plus B is AR into C is AR square, so AR square into what is C? C is AR square and D is AR cube whole square equal to, this will become A square R plus A square R cube plus A square R raised to, this will become 5, and over that whole bracket there is square is there, and equal to now from all these terms, there are 3 terms inside the bracket, we can take out A square R common. So A square R will take out common, A square R, but over the whole bracket there is square, so this becomes square. Remaining will be 1 plus, because we have taken A square R from here, remaining will be R square plus, same way here, from here we have taken A square R common, so remaining will be R raised to 4 whole square, and this is equal to a raised to 4 r square 1 plus r square plus r raised to 4 whole square, and let this be 2. Now if you compare 1 and 2, so it's very clear. If you compare, this is our 1 and this is our 2. Comparing 1 and 2, what we can say that AB plus BC plus CD whole square is same as A square plus B square plus C square multiplied with B square plus C square plus D square. So this is our result. Therefore, from 1 and 2, we have what we are having: A square plus B square plus C square multiplied with B square plus C square plus D square is equal to, so this will become equal to, this is the first one. What is the first one? First one is that is A square plus B square plus C square into B square plus C square plus D square. The final calculation is equal to A raised to 4 into R square into 1 plus R square plus R raised to 4 whole square. So this is the first one. First one we have written here, and that is equal to the second one. So equal to, what is the second one? That is AB plus BC plus CD whole square, and that is equal to the same as the first one. So in place of this one, what we will be writing? The starting one, that is AB plus BC plus CD whole square. So this is the proof of question number 25. So with this, question number 25 is complete. Question number 26. Insert two numbers between 3 and 81 such that the resulting sequence is GP. So solution number 26. Let capital A1 and capital A2 be the two required numbers. Therefore, what we can say that 3 capital A1, capital A2 and 81 will be in GP. So therefore we can say that capital A1 is equal to 3R, where R equal to common ratio, and what is A2? A2 will be equal to 3R square, and A1 will be equal to 3R, A2 will be equal to 3R square, and our because actually A2 is if you count from this first term, second term, third term, so this is our A3 equal to, and this our A1, capital A1 is actually, we consider small a1 as the first term, so this will become A2. Here we can write A1 equal to 3, A4 equal to 81. So now what is A4? A4 equal to 81. Therefore we can say that, but what is A4 if we write in the form general term, that is AR cube equal to 81. So this implies, but what is the value of A? A is equal to 3. So 3R cube equal to 81. Therefore we can say that R cube is equal to 27, or R equal to 3. So therefore what we are getting is that capital, the two numbers which have which we want to insert between 3 and 81 are, capital A1 will be equal to 3R, that is 3 into 3 is equal to 9. Capital A2 will be equal to here 3R square, so 3 into 3 square, that is 3 into 9, so it is 27. So therefore we can say that insert two numbers between 3 and 81 such that the resulting sequence is GP. Therefore the required numbers are 9 and 27, which on inserting between, which on being inserted, which on being inserted between 3 and 81, between 3 and 81, here between 3 and 81, insert two numbers between 3 and 81 such that the resulting sequence is GP. The required numbers are 9 and 27, which on being inserted between 3 and 81, which will make the resulting sequence in a GP, So this is the solution of question number 26, and with this it is complete. Question number 27. Find the value of n such that a raised to n plus 1 plus b raised to n plus 1 over a raised to n plus b raised to n may be the geometric mean between a and b. So solving 27th one, we know that the geometric mean between a and b is root ab. Therefore, we can say that for this to be possible, here we have a raised to n plus 1 plus b raised to n plus 1 over a raised to n plus b raised to n, that is equal to square root of ab. So let's simplify this one. Now let for time being we'll let a raised to n say equal to alpha for time being, and b raised to n equal to beta. Therefore, what we'll have is here is this can be written as a into alpha, a alpha plus b into beta over alpha plus beta equal to square root of ab. Why? Because a raised to n plus 1 can be written as a raised to n into a. For example, I will show you here a raised to n plus 1 can be written as a raised to n into a. So this is why we will get here a raised to n into a, and this will become b raised to n into b. So since a raised to n is equal to alpha, we will get here a alpha, and here b raised to n is equal to beta. So we will get this as b raised to n into b. So b into beta. So now let us go further in this. So cross multiplying, we will be getting a alpha plus b beta equal to, this will become root of ab into alpha plus beta. So therefore we will get a alpha plus b beta equal to root of ab into alpha plus root of ab into beta. So now let us do one thing, bring alpha terms containing alpha one side and terms containing beta the other side. So this will imply a alpha minus root of ab into alpha equal to root of ab into beta minus b beta. So from the left hand side we will take out alpha and root a common. So we will get here from both the terms what we can take out common. We can take out root a alpha as common, that is root a into alpha or alpha into root a. So from here first term what will remain is root alpha minus, because from here we have taken root a and alpha, so remaining will be root b equal to, same way here from the these two terms we can take out beta common as well as root of b. So we will be getting here root b beta, and remaining will be here root a minus, and here we will be getting root b, because This can be written as root b into root b. So one root b is already here, so remaining will be root b this. Now both sides we can see that we are having root of a minus root of b, so we'll cancel it out, and this will give us, therefore what we are getting is alpha by beta equal to b over a. So this will get alpha by beta equal to root b over square root of b by a. Now alpha by beta, let's put the value of alpha by beta. Alpha is a raised to n, so this will become a raised to n over b raised to n equal to square root of b over a, and this can be written as a by b whole raised to n, and square root means we know what is the exponent in that case, half. So this is b by a raised to 1 by 2. Now we cannot compare both of them because here the base is a by b, here the base is b by a. So what we can do is to compare, we'll just take the reverse of this. So this can be written as, therefore a by b whole raised to n equal to a by b raised to minus half, because we know that a raised to minus 1 is 1 by a. So just taking the reciprocal will make the exponent as negative. Now we can compare, because the reason is that in both left hand side and right hand side we are having the same base, so we can compare the exponents. Therefore we can say that n equal to minus half. So this is the answer of question number 27. Therefore what we'll have, the sum of the two numbers, that means a plus b is equal to 6 times their geometric mean. What is geometric mean of two numbers a and b? That is root ab. So a plus b will be 6 times of root ab. Now this we can write as a plus b equal to 3 into 2 root ab. This implies a plus b over 2 root ab equal to 3. Now some of you may be thinking that why we have split up 6 into 2 parts, 3 and 2. This is because when we write 6 as 3 into 2, we are getting 2 root ab, and then we take it as a denominator in the left hand side. So on doing that, when we will be applying component and dividend, this will become a plus b plus 2 root ab and a plus b minus 2 root ab, and that can be written as as a sum of perfect squares. So let us do that one. So now what we'll do is 3 can be written as, actually 3 means 3 by 1. So now let us apply componendo and dividendo. Applying componendo and dividendo, applying this result which you have just learned, applying componendo and dividendo, we have, so what we'll have here is our a and this is our b. A by b equal to c by d, then a plus b. So this numerator is to be taken as, here though it is a, but this whole we are taking as, according to the rule, we are taking this a and this as b. So this is a by b, and this c by d. So this 3 is our c and 1 is our d. So applying this rule, a plus b over a minus b, we have a plus b plus 2 root ab over a plus b minus 2 root ab, and that is equal to 3 plus 1 over 3 minus 1, and this can be written as, this a means root a square, b means root b square, and this is 2 into root a into root b. So this can be compared with x square plus y square plus 2xy. So this can be written as root a plus root b whole square. And same way here also, this denominator can be written as root a minus root b whole square, and that is equal to 3 plus 1 is 4, 4 over 2. And what is 4 over 2? That is 2 by 1. So now let us take square root both sides. Taking square root both sides, taking square root both sides, both sides we have, so what we are going to have, square root of a plus square root of b over square root of a minus square root of b equal to, here the square root of 2 will be root 2 and square root of 1 will be 1. Now to get the value of a and b, what we will do, we will apply again componendo and dividendo in this. So let us go in the next page and apply componendo and dividendo again. So let me write it here, applying componendo and dividendo. We have applying componendo and dividendo, we have. So what we'll do, we'll apply again this rule and then we'll be getting our answer. So now applying componendo and dividendo, this is our a and this is our b, this is c and this is our d. So this whole root 2 is our c and this is d. What we are going to get is a plus b over a minus b equal to c plus d over c minus d. So that is what we are going to write, a plus b, that is root a plus root b plus, that is root a minus root b. So this is what we have, a plus b is root a plus root b plus root a minus root b, and on the right hand side we will be getting equal to root 2 plus 1, and a plus b, now a minus b, because this was our a and this was our b, now a minus b, so that will be our root a plus root b minus root a minus root b. So this is our a minus b equal to, this side will we have already c plus d, now c minus d, that is root 2 minus root 1. So therefore simplifying this, will be getting root a plus root a, because minus root b and plus root b will be cancelled out, so we will be getting 2 root a in the denominator. When we open the bracket, this will become minus root a, this will become plus root b, and so root a minus root a will be cancelled out, we will be getting 2 root b equal to, this is a rational and irrational number, so they cannot be, they will remain as they are, root 2 plus 1 and root 2 minus 1, so 2 and 2 cancelled out. But still, what is required by us, let us go in back the page, we want the sum of the two numbers 6 times their geometric mean. Prove that the numbers are in the ratio. That means what the numbers we have taken a and b, we have to find a ratio b. So but this is root a ratio root b, so what we'll do, we'll square both sides. So squaring both sides, we have squaring both sides, we have, so root a over root b whole square, that is equal to root 2 plus 1 over root 2 minus 1 whole square. Now we'll simplify this. This will imply a over b equal to, now in the numerator we'll apply the formula of x plus y whole square, that is root 2 square plus 1 square plus 2 root 2 over, this will become root 2 square plus 1 square minus 2 root 2. So therefore we can say that a by b equal to, root 2 square is 2, 2 plus 1 3, 3 plus 2 root 2 over 3 minus 2 root 2. Therefore we can say that a ratio b is equal to 3 plus 2 root 2 ratio, and this 3 plus 2 root 2 we should keep in bracket, because otherwise it will have a different meaning. So 3 minus 2 root 2, that also will keep in bracket, because the ratio is, the whole is our 3 plus 2 root 2 whole is in the numerator and 3 minus 2 root 2 is in the denominator. So this is the way of writing it, and this is our required result. So let us see whether we have got what we required or not. 3 plus 2 root 2 over 3 minus 2 root 2. So 3 plus 2 root 2 over 3 minus 2 root 2. So with this, question number 28 is also complete. Question number 29. If a and z be the arithmetic mean and geometric mean respectively between two positive numbers, prove that the numbers are a plus minus square root of a plus z into a minus z. So solving question number 29, let a and b be the two positive numbers. Let a and small b be the two positive numbers. Two positive numbers, and we'll take capital A as the arithmetic mean. A equal to arithmetic mean. So A is the capital A is the arithmetic mean, or we can say that it is the AM. So that is equal to, therefore we can say that capital A is equal to A plus B by 2. And what is the geometric mean? G equal to geometric mean. Geometric mean, and that will be equal to, therefore we can say that G is equal to square root of AB. Now let us find the value of A plus G into A minus G. Therefore capital A plus G into capital A minus G will be equal to, you just put the value, there is A plus B by 2 plus can take it as root AB, and A minus G we can take as A plus B by 2 minus square root of AB equal to, now here itself if you want you can use x plus y into x minus y is x square minus y square and then solve it, or you can put the values first and then solve it. So here what we will be getting is, we will use the formula of x plus y into x minus y, that will become x square minus y square. So a plus b by 2 whole square minus root ab whole square equal to, here applying the formula of x plus y whole square, we will be getting a square plus b square plus 2ab over 4 minus, this will become ab, and this will be getting equal to a square plus b square plus 2ab minus 4ab over 4, and this will be equal to a square plus b square minus 2ab over 4. So this is what we are getting, and we'll take the square root of this, and after that in that we'll put this one in this a plus minus and see whether we get our required answer or not. So now let us go in the next page, and what we'll be writing from here is the same thing, that is what we have got here is a square minus g square, or a plus g into, therefore a plus g into a minus g equal to, we have got the answer as a square plus b square minus 2ab over 4, and that we can write in compact form as a minus b by 2 whole square. This is what we can write. This one is short, but we can write as a minus b whole square, a minus b over 2 whole square, because a minus b, if you do the square, we'll be getting a square plus b square minus 2ab, and the square of 2 is 4. So now next step we'll be solving this one, that is a plus minus square root of a plus g into a minus g. So therefore a plus minus a plus g into a minus g, and we'll take the square root of this portion, that is equal to, so there are two cases, so we'll write as a means a plus b, because what is our a is the arithmetic mean of small a and small b, so we will write the value of capital A here, that is a plus b by 2 plus minus and here we are getting a minus b by 2 whole square. Therefore, you can say that a plus minus square root of a plus g multiplied by a minus g is equal to a plus b by 2 plus square root of a minus b by 2 whole square, or we can get it as a plus b by 2 minus a minus b by 2 square, and over there we'll take the root, and therefore we can say that capital A is equal to, not capital A, sorry, not capital A, therefore we will have a plus minus square root of a plus g into a minus g is equal to, let us simplify these two values, so we will be getting as a plus b by 2 plus, because we know that square and square root cancel each other, plus a minus b by 2, and the second one is a plus b by 2 minus a minus b by 2. So that is equal to, if you simplify this further, we will be getting denominator is same, so we can add the numerator. So this will become 2a by 2a, so that is a, and the second portion will give us a plus b minus a, so a and minus a will cancel out, then b plus b, that is 2b over 2, so we will be getting b. So this is our answer, and what number we have taken initially, small a and small b, so therefore we can say that capital A plus minus square root of a plus g into a minus g is same as the two numbers small a and small, there is the original numbers whose arithmetic mean is capital A and whose geometric mean is g. And with this, exercise 9.3 question number 29 is complete. Question number 30. The number of bacteria in a certain culture doubles every hour. If there were 30 bacteria present in the culture originally, how many bacteria will be present at the end of the second hour, fourth hour, and nth hour? Here again, let us read this question. The number of bacteria in a certain culture doubles every hour. If there were 30 bacteria in the culture originally, how many bacteria will be present at the end of second hour, fourth hour, and nth hour? It doubles every hour means at the end of 1 hour, whatever was the bacteria originally, it becomes double of that. So solving 30th one, solution 30, let A1 equal to number of bacteria at the end of 1 hour. Let A equal to number of bacteria at the end of the first hour. A equal to number of bacteria at the end of first hour. At the end of first hour. So therefore, what will be getting A1 equal to, initially what is the number 30, so it will become double of that, so it will become 60. So A1 is our 60. Remember that A1 is not 30, A1 is 60, because we have defined A1 in such a way that is number of bacteria at the end of the first hour. Similarly, A2 is equal to number of bacteria at the end of second hour. Number of bacteria at the end of second hour. At the end of second hour, and that is equal to, therefore we can say that A2 is equal to double of 60 is 120, and suppose same pattern we follow, A3 will be equal to, what will be A3? A3 will be equal to number of bacteria at the end of the third hour. Number of bacteria at the end of third hour. Bacteria at the end of, see here it is meaning at end means when 3 hours are complete, then only. The number of bacteria at the end of 3 hours is equal to how much? Therefore we can say that A3 is equal to double of 120 is 240. Similarly A4, what is A4? A4 will be defined as number of bacteria at the end of 4 hours. number of bacteria at the end of 4 hours. At the end of 4 hours, so that will be, therefore we can say that A4 is equal to double of 240 is 480, and we can see here every time the bacteria are becoming double, that means this is GP. Here A2 by A1 equal to what we can see, that is 120 by 60, and that is 2, and A3 by A2 equal to, that is 240 by 120, that is also again 2, and same way if you follow, we'll see that A4 by A3 equal to, what is A4, that is 480 by A3, what is our A3? A3 is 240, so 480 by 240, again we are getting is 2. Therefore we can say that A2 by A1 equal to A3 by A2 equal to A4 by A3, so on, equal to 2. Therefore the sequence form is GP. Therefore we can say that the sequence forms is GP. The sequence forms is GP. Forms a GP, and with R equal to 2. So now it is very simple to find the number of bacteria at the end of n hours. That is what we have to find here. Find the number of bacteria at the end of n hours. So therefore AN equal to number of bacteria at the end of n hours, equal to, so that will be, just we know how to use the formula of AN. So therefore AN will be equal to A1 into R raised to n minus 1 equal to, what is our A1? Our A1 is 60 and not 30, we have discussed, into R is 2, so 2 raised to n minus 1. So this can be written, if we want to simplify it, this will be, therefore AN equal to 60 into 2 raised to n over 2, and that is equal to 30 into 2 raised to n. So this is our answer of this question number 30. So with this, question number 30 is also complete. Question number 31. What will be rupees 500 amounts to in 10 years after it is deposited in a bank which pays annual interest rate at 10% compounded annually? So solving 31. Here the principal amount is rupees 500. Here principal amount P equal to principal amount equal to rupees 500, and what is the number of years? N equal to 10 years, and what is the rate of interest? Rate of interest R equal to rate of interest compounded annually equal to, that is 10%. So therefore we can say that A1 equal to, where A1 will be representing the amount at the end of first year, so A1 equal to amount after the end of first year. A1 equal to amount after the end of first year, end of 1 year is equal to, therefore A1 equal to 500 into, see here our original amount is rupees 500, so, and the interest is of 10% per year compounded annually. So that means after 1 year the amount will become 1.1 times of the original principal amount what we have put up. So A1 will be 500 into 1.1. Similarly A2 will be equal to, A2 will be after that is after 2 years, so there is amount after 2 years. A1 equal to amount after 2 years amount after 2 years is equal to, it will again after 2 years it will become 1.1 times of this one, or we can say it is 500 into first time, it will become 1.1 is the first year amount, then second year again by it will increase by 1.1 times, so it will become, therefore we can say that A2 equal to 500 into 1.1 square. Similarly, A3 will become 500 into 1.1 cube, and so on, and we have to find the amount after 10 years. So A10 will be equal to 500 into 1.1 raised to 10. So this must be the amount after 10 years. So with this, question number 31 is complete. Question number 32. If arithmetic mean and geometric mean of roots of a quadratic equations are 8 and 5 respectively, then obtain the quadratic equation. So solving question number 32, we know that if suppose there are two numbers, say A and B, we know that if A and B are two numbers, if A and B are two numbers with arithmetic mean with arithmetic mean equal to A and geometric mean equal to G, then A plus minus square root of A plus G into square root of A plus G into A minus G is equal to the two numbers, that is A and B. So this is what result will apply in question number 32. So what is given to us? Arithmetic mean and geometric mean of roots of a quadratic equation are 8 and 5. So here capital A equal to 8 and capital G equal to 5. Therefore we can say that A equal to capital A plus square root of A plus G into A minus G. So this will implies A equal to, what is our capital A, that is 8. 8 plus, now here we are having the number A and capital A as 8 and G as 5. So we will be putting here 8 plus 5 into 8 minus 5. So therefore we can say that A equal to 8 plus, this will 8 plus 5 is 13 multiplied by, and this will become 3. So that is 39. So we will be getting A equal to 8 plus root 39. And what will be our B? If you want to find B, B will be equal to A minus A plus G into A minus G, that is 8 plus 5, or we can just write it here, A plus G into A minus G, and that will give us, therefore B equal to 8 minus, now 8 plus 5 into 8 minus 5. So therefore we can say that B equal to 8 minus 8 plus 5 is 13 into 3, and this will give us B equal to 8 minus square root of 39. And we know that how to find a quadratic equation whose roots are given. So what are the numbers here? A and B are the roots of the required quadratic equation. So now here what we can say that A and B are the roots of the required quadratic equation. Therefore the required quadratic equation will be, therefore required quadratic equation is, see here again, let us go through the question again. What it says that if arithmetic mean and geometric mean of roots of a quadratic equation are 8 and 5 respectively, then obtain the quadratic equation. So That means here A and B are the roots, what we say as uh, small a and small b will be the roots of the required quadratic equation, and we have already obtained them. So it's now very simple to find the quadratic equation, that is x minus alpha, or x square minus alpha plus beta into x plus alpha into beta equal to 0, where alpha stands for the root, that is x square minus a plus b into x plus a into b, that is equal to 0. So just we'll put the values and we'll get the answer. So what is our a? A is 8 plus root 39 and b is 8 minus root 39. So just putting the values. So we'll be getting here x square minus 8 plus root 39 plus 8 minus root 39 into x plus 8 plus root 39 into 8 minus root 39, that is equal to 0, and this will implies us, will give us x square minus root 39 and minus root 39 cancel out, 8 plus 8 is 16, so we'll get minus 16x plus this will become 8 into 8 64 minus 39 equal to 0, and this will give us x square minus 16x plus, so from here we'll subtract 14 minus 9, it will become 5, and this will become 5 minus 3 2, so we'll be getting 25, and that is equal to 0. So the required quadratic equation is x square minus 16x plus 25 equal to 0. So this is our required quadratic equation, and so with this the exercise also complete.